Hey, what's up? My name is Tyson Brown and I want to welcome you to Tyson's Fitness Tips podcast. This is Australia's top health and fitness podcast to help you lose weight, look good with your shirt off, feel confident in your body, and finally achieve the goals you want with your health and fitness. So 5 days a week, I'm going to be giving you top information from myself and also from leading experts in the field so you know everything you need to do to get in the best shape of your life. From nutrition to mindset to workout, everything is covered in this podcast and you need to go nowhere else. So like I said, it's going to be 5 days a week, Monday to Friday, in your ears with quick actionable segments that you can implement straight away, because the most important thing is that you can put these things into play. Also, if you listen all the way to the end of the episode, you're going to get 2 special gifts that you can download upon listening to it. So make sure you listen all the way to the end to get those free gifts, okay? So let's get into the episode. Good morning. Okay, so currently I am sitting in a room in the gym and I thought I'm going to try do something different again today, because I'm always looking to try and give you the best quality information, and sometimes that's going to be when I'm walking, but I thought, you know what, if I can try and change it up and maybe this just gives a better sound quality, this just lets me use my thoughts better, this just gives you a better overall experience, maybe this is a better choice. So I'm going to give it a go today to see how I go, and I'm going to do it for the rest of this week. So instead of knocking out podcasts every single day, like every single Monday, knocking out a whole bunch, instead what I'm going to do is I'm going to do 1 podcast a day, go through this, read the notes I'm going to go through, and then I can decide what I really want to do for you guys. So that's what I'm planning on doing today, and that's why I'm getting it straight into this, no holds bar, no nothing. So let's get into today's topic. And what I was thinking about, what I wanted to talk with you in regards to, and it's something that's been happening with me for my weight loss journey, and it's about the scale weight, right? Because a lot of people put, especially women, but men do too, put a lot of their self-worth in how much they weigh. When you stand on the scale and you see that weight go up or you see the weight go down, you are letting that scale have control over your emotions. And the problem with letting the scale have control over your emotions is that it's going to dictate how you feel all the time. And because there are so many different things that can affect your scale weight, it can really fuck with your head if you think about it. So let me give an example. Last week I started my diet. I'm currently trying to lose for winter. I said I'm taking the long-term approach, so then by when summer comes, I'm going to be lean. And what happened is my scale weight started dropping really, really quickly. And I logically knew this was going to happen because of water weight. So whenever you first start trying to lose weight, what's going to happen is the first week or the first 2 weeks is you're going to see a massive drop. And this isn't you losing fat, unfortunately. What this is you dropping water from your body, dropping extra fluids. Because now that you've gone on a diet, here's what usually happens. You stop eating less processed food. You stop consuming as many carbohydrates. You stop consuming as much sodium. You eat less food in general. You take more shits. You have a healthier diet. And what happens is you start holding less water. Because you're eating less food, there's going to be less volume of food in your stomach. Because you're eating less carbohydrates, you're going to have less water. Because you're eating less processed food and less sodium, you're going to be holding less water. Because you're having a more healthier diet, you're going to have more frequent bowel movements. And because of all these things happening, you're going to drop water weight really, really quickly. And that's what was happening to me last week. And I was monitoring my progress, showing it on Instagram. I went from 90 to 89 to 88, all the way down to 86. So I lost 3.5 kilos in a week. And then on Monday, today, I was 88.8 kilos. So I jumped up another 2 kilos. Now, if I let that weight, that one day, dictate the way I felt for the day, I would be feeling like shit. I'd be feeling all good, and then I'd be like, what the hell? What just happened? How did I gain weight so quickly? And the truth of the matter is, I didn't. All that happened is that I held more water than I was the previous days. And you can't let one day fluctuate. Now, does that say the scale isn't the most accurate thing you should be using? No, because it can still be a helpful tool in your toolbox, but it shouldn't be the only thing, right? And if you're going to use weight as a measuring tool, then you want to use it cleverly, okay? So cleverly, is that a word? I hope so. So the first thing you want to do is you want to make sure that you weigh yourself at the same time every single day, or as often as possible. So for me, I wake up, I go to the bathroom, do the pee, do the poo, whatever you gotta do, get in my underwear, stand on my scales, take the measurement, all right? Measure once and that's it. That's it. Don't get back on the scale if it says a different weight, stop doing that stuff, you measure once. Then I write down my weight for the day. Then I do the same thing the next day, and the next day, and the next day. And all I'm doing is I'm getting these numbers and I'm getting data, okay? And when I get data, then when I get that data, I can do something with that data. So let's say I've just gone to weigh myself and I've weighed myself Monday to Sunday. So I've weighed myself 7 days that week. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add up all of those weights from those 7 days. So let's say I was 90, 80, 88.5, 89.2, 89, 88.7. I'm going to add all those together, all those 7 numbers together. What I'm going to do is divide that number by 7, and that's going to give me my weekly average. So let's say my average this week was 88.9 kilos, okay? Now, I want to be able to beat that average next week, okay? So next week, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to measure myself as often as possible. You don't have to do 7 days. You know, you can do anywhere between 4 days and more. So 4 days would be your minimum and then increase from there. So 4, 5, 6, or 7, it's up to you. So let's say my average was, like I said, 89.8? Yeah, 89.8, whatever it was. Let's say it's 89.8. The next week, my goal is to beat that average. So if I get 88.5, I've lost a quarter of a kilo. I've lost 400 grams. And that's what I'm going to be looking for. I'm going to be looking for making progress on weekly averages, not daily accounts, because daily fluctuations will happen. One day you might just eat more carbs than you did the day before. One day you might go out to dinner and you might still stick to your calories, but it was very high in sodium. And the next day you weigh yourself and you're 3 kilos heavier and you're like, what the hell? And that's just what happens, okay? So you can't let that scale dictate the way you feel day by day. You just have to use it as data, and you have to be able to stand back and just accept whatever numbers on the scale and not let it affect you. Because when you start to let it affect you, that's when problems arise, because people let that determine their self-worth. And the scale is not your self-worth. It is just a measuring tool, okay? And the more data pieces you have, the better it's going to be. Now, the reason I say measure 4 to 7 days a week is because the fewer times you measure, the more room there is for error. My girlfriend actually asked me this question. She goes, why don't you weigh yourself just once a week, Tyson? Why don't you weigh yourself Monday morning every single week? And I said, here's the problem with weighing yourself Monday morning every single week. Let's say this Monday, I weighed myself and I was 89.5, okay? Today is Monday. Let's say I weighed myself this morning, I was 89.5. Then a week from now, I weigh myself again. But then on Sunday, I forgot to eat lunch. I had, let's say, instead of having 2,000 calories, I had 1,200 calories. I didn't have any sodium. I was very, very dehydrated because I drank on Saturday night. And let's say I sweated a lot on Sunday. Let's say I went for a sauna. So then I've gone from 89.5 the first week, and then let's say the week after, I was 87.5. I'm like, holy shit, I've lost 2 kilos in a week. Awesome. So I'm like, wow, I get really excited. Then the week after that, I weigh myself again, and I'm 88.8. What the hell just happened? How did I gain a kilo? What have I done wrong? And that's the reason with only having one measurement, is because there's such a bigger chance of error and you can't account for that error, right? So the more you weigh yourself, the more accurate it's going to be. But here's the thing. If you're going to use this as a measuring tool, like I said before, you have to be as specific as possible and you have to replicate. This is why science is so important. You have to be able to keep variables in check as much as you can, okay? That's why you want to say weigh yourself in the morning. You don't want to weigh yourself at night because then you've eaten food. You don't want to weigh yourself after a workout because then you've sweated and you've probably eaten food. Like, all these variables come into play and you want to eliminate as many variables as possible. So if you wake up at the same time, you take a shit or take a pee, you then weigh yourself in your underwear or naked on the same bathroom scale on the same time every single day, you're going to have a much, much greater chance of accuracy. Now, the dinner the night before may affect it, okay? But you're still going to have a much better chance of accuracy than just weighing yourself willy-nilly whatever time during the day. You know, today's 12 p.m., tomorrow's 7 p.m., then you've had a workout, then you've eaten dinner. Like, all these things can really throw around your weight. And you don't want to try and cheat the weight either, because the reason you don't want to try and cheat is because you're letting your emotions dictate the way you feel, and you don't want that, okay? So I want you to take away from this. If you're going to start using the scale weight, just use it as data and nothing else. Do not let it determine how you feel for the day. If it's heavier one day, cool. If it's lighter the next day, cool. When you can start to practice that, and you can take your emotion out of it, you can stand away from that, from the emotion, and just watch the numbers and be like, okay, cool, I see the numbers, they're there, they are data, and as long as you see that weekly average going down, if your goal is to lose fat, you are on the right track, and that's all you need to think about, okay? Anything else is just bizarre. If it goes up by 2 kilos one week, I don't give a fuck. I mean, 1 week, 1 day, doesn't fucking matter. You just want to keep that running average. You want to make sure you're making progress over time. You watch that weekly average go down, and that's what's really going to be the most important thing. So, I hope that was helpful. I hope that gives you an idea about how to use the scale properly. Don't use it willy-nilly. Don't let it determine your self-worth. If you're going to use it smart, because it's a very good tool for the tool belt if you want to use that. And next time, I'll be talking to you about other types of measurements you can use to be able to do that. So I hope this is different. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know if you did. Comment, let me know on Instagram at Tyson the Trainer with 2 R's, and I'll speak to you next time. Hey, thanks for listening to the podcast. I really appreciate it. So now you've listened all the way to the end. That means you get some free goodies. So what you can do is you've got 2 different options, or you can take them both. I've got an intermittent fasting cheat sheet and a high protein 20 recipe meal guide designed specifically for you in your situation. These meal plans and this intermittent fasting guide is designed to help you burn stubborn belly fat and get in the best shape of your life. So all you have to do is go to the show notes, click on the download link, and they'll get sent straight to your email address. It's as simple as that. They're completely free. They're going to help you transform your body. So go to the show notes now and download your free guides, and I'll speak to you in the next episode.